thought I was kidding. No. That's like the most nerve-wracking song to sing, I tell you. It's like I've sung it a lot and I know it, but I don't care how many times you sung and you know it. You get in front of like a stadium, all of a sudden it's like, what are the words of this song? Because it's one thing singing along with somebody, it's another thing leading a song, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I sung it at a Monday Night Football game once and I was about to just pass out. I was so nervous about it. Tim Tebow was there. I said, pray for me, Tim. Alright, let's see here. I got all these things in my hand. What am I doing with these things? I don't even know what these do. What's this, a guitar? Alright. Sweet. Sweet, it works. Maybe we have a little church version. What are those shirts? That's what I'm talking about. That's old school. When I say old school, it's my last record. Alright, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna sing this. I'm gonna try to. We have we don't have like too much time, and I want to try to squeeze like 4 songs in at least, you know. So it's like, and I've just been playing brand new songs, but I made this new version of Starry Night about a month or so ago, and I just enjoy playing it. And I've sung Starry Night thousands of times, but it's a song I wrote when I rededicated my life to Christ, so I still like singing it and reminding myself of that moment in my life. But and then when I got this new version, I was like, I really like singing this one now. You know, a little soulful, kind of jazzy version. All right, here we go. So let's do the same. He is everything. From the birds that sing in the tallest trees to the human life of you and me, from the desert sands to the place we stand, He is God of all, He is everything. Whoa, whoa, I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. Every starry night, that was His design. I'm giving my life to the only Son who was and is and yet to come. Let the praises ring. He is everything. From the autumn leaves and the plowed trees to the wasted days of you and me, from the painted sky to my plain field eye, He is God of all, He is everything. Whoa, I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. Every starry night, that was His design. Giving my life to the only Son who was and is and yet to come. Let the praises ring. He is everything. Hallelujah, hallelujah, and I believe. Hallelujah, hallelujah, and I believe. I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. On that starry night, it changed my life. I'm giving it all to the only Son who gave me hope when I had none. Oh, when I had none, none. I'm giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. Every starry night, that was His design. I'm giving my life to the only Son who was and is and yet to come. And the angels sing, He is heavenly. or a little starry night, you know, in the middle of the day. They're out there, you just can't see them. Oh man. Let's see. I want to play something. And before I play this, I feel like I just gotta tell y'all this a little bit about this kind of season in my life. Is, you know, it's. I think a lot of times people think, not that y'all think this about me, but I know, like I got saved at a church camp when I was 15 years old, and this worship leader was a guy named Chris Tomlin. You might have heard of him. But I'm 32 now, so this is many years ago. He didn't even have any like CDs out or anything. He was just the worship leader at the student life camp that I was at as a 15-year-old kid. And I got saved at that camp, and so his music's always meant a lot to me. So every time I think Chris Tomlin, I'm like, oh man, he's perfect. Like, you know, so all those other guys, you know, we're messed up. But him, I don't know about that, you know. But you know, then you get to know someone, you're like, okay, he's not perfect, I guess. But you know, but it's funny. Like I think some people have that perception of like when you have like a pastor or a Christian artist, you think, oh man, they got it all together, you know, and they don't struggle with the things we struggle with. And I like to break down that wall and let you know we do. I don't mind being that guy. But so. Basically, if those of you don't know, like April of 2012, I had a brain injury. I had a skateboard accident, and I had a brain bleed, brain swelling. I was in ICU for a little bit, and all this stuff. And I'm going to tell this story kind of quick because I don't want to take up too much time. But after you have a brain injury, you're on a lot of pain medication because your head hurts, and it's not a little headache. And so I was on like Oxycontin, Percocet, hydrocodone, all this stuff. And when you start, you know, your body gets addicted to that stuff, and when you're trying to get off, I'm getting sick, and I'm trying to like, it's been, you know, I've been taking it for, you know, 4 months at this point, and so finally I wean myself off of that, and I'm acting, you know, weird, and I go to counseling, and you know, I not to, you know, go around telling people to go to counseling, but I don't care, whatever at this point. It's part of the testimony. Just when you think your testimony's done, it's like, Lord's like, no, you're going to go through this. And I'm like, Lord, I thought my testimony was already written. You know, there's more pages to this thing. But so I go to this counseling, and I get diagnosed with depression. And so this is now, you know, accident happened in April 2012. This is December 2012. And, you know, you get on the depression medicine. I'm taking this medicine, and now I have this side effect, my legs shake. Okay, well, there's a side effect. Here's a pill for that. You know, well, I can't sleep too. Well, that's a side effect. Here's a pill for that. And I'm not joking you. Like I was going around, I had this like the size of a laptop pill box that had like all my pills, and I had to take them all the time. And so I was on it for about 3 months, and I go on tour with a band called Big Daddy Weave. Awesome band, some good friends of mine, and they, you know, if you haven't been to a Big Daddy Weave show, go see it. But at the end, they have this ministry time, and everybody, the band, they're down there praying with people and asking the Lord to heal them. And so I wasn't raised in church, and when I did go to church when I was about 15 and got saved, I just went to, I'm from Dallas, you know, I just went to the Baptist church, and I just was like, listen to the pastor, and then you go home and watch the Cowboys, or maybe go to Applebee's, I don't know. But like, I mean, that's like literally, it wasn't much, you just sat there and was like, cool, like, and maybe you got some free donuts, but like, man, those donuts are good. You want to extend your ministry, expand it, you get free donuts, and people will come. Or pizza. But like, so I just wasn't used to seeing, you know, people praying over somebody and like asking the Lord to heal. I was like, man, I'm sitting right there with Mike. I'm like, I'm just going to stand with Mike Weaver and just like agree with him. So I'm like, got my hand, yep, that's cool. Amen. Like, do that. I'm totally into this, you know. But I'm watching these people get healed, like physically, emotionally. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about, chains are gone. I'm like, man, these chains are gone. Like, I see what you're talking about. Like, chained down and now you're not. You know, it's cool. Like, and it almost sounds like I was becoming a Christian for the first time. It wasn't something like that. Like, he's been a Christian artist for a while. This math is not adding up. It's just, you can always, I'm telling you, don't ever settle, you know? And so many of us settle. And I just said one night, I was sitting on the bus. I'd been taking all these pills for about 3 months. I said, Lord, like, I was sitting with Mike Weaver and the tour pastor, Brad, and I just said, it was like, y'all are healing people. I'm not y'all, but like, Lord's healing people, and we're asking for it. It's like, I want to be healed. Like, what in the world? I'm taking all this medicine. I can't even sleep at night, you know. And so I just asked the Lord to heal me that night, and He did. But I didn't just say like, Lord, heal me, then like go about my business. I said, Lord, heal me, and I woke up the next day and I started reading. I'm not exaggerating. I was reading the Bible for hours every single day. I started studying Hebrew and Greek. I started just chasing after Him like my life depended on it because I felt like it did. And I'll tell you what. I haven't taken one pill since that day, at all. And it's, I'm not going to go around to him and be like, don't take your pills. Like, the Lord might, but I'm not going to tell you that. But like, but honestly, I knew what He was telling me to do, and I knew I knew I was settling for the temporary, fix. Like, well, I felt better, but like, at what cost? I'm taking all this stuff, and I seeked, His healing, which is the permanent, and the real healing. And I'll tell you, I haven't taken a pill since that moment, and He healed me just like that. But I chased after Him, and I walked in His healing. I like to think of it like, it's not like it was just like, oh, it's gone, because I guarantee you, the moment I start walking in myself, that'll come right back. But as I continue to walk in His healing, I don't know why I'm like, it's like I gotta walk really fast, I guess. But as you walk in His healing, that stuff, the stuff you struggle with on your own, you don't struggle with all of a sudden. It's crazy how that works. And so after that tour, I started my new record, like right after I started writing for it, and I didn't know what it was going to be about. I was in the middle of a crisis, it seemed like, and but so the first song I wrote was this one, and it's going to be on my new record, and it's called He's Still Here. 2,000 years ago, He walked the earth, just flesh and bone. He used to heal the sick, made broken hearts turn beautiful, but today we don't believe in miracles. Tell me, when did we start thinking God stopped moving when He does? And why do I believe the healer somehow lost His touch? Oh, what's wrong with us? He's still here, still moving after all these years. No, He never disappeared. Our God yesterday is our God today. He's still here. He's still here. Let me tell the truth to you. Sometimes I doubt what I can't see. Then I look at this evidence, your hand, your breath on everything, and I believe. Oh, silly me, tell me, when did I start thinking God stopped moving when He does? And why do I believe the Savior stopped showing up? 'Cause He's just as near, oh, as He ever was. He's still here, still moving after all these years. Oh, He never disappeared. Our God yesterday is our God today. He's still here. He was never gone. He didn't stay in the grave. His love is one. He's still with us today, still breaking chains. He's still here, still moving after all these years. No, He never disappeared. Our God yesterday is our God today. He's still here, and He's moving. Yeah, He's moving. He's not in the grave. He's still moving, and His love is alive in us today. 2,000 years ago, He walked the earth, just flesh and bone. They laid Him in a grave, but He wasn't there when they moved the stone. Oh no, and He's still here. This is only like maybe the third time I've ever even sang that song, so it's like still, I'm like, get through it, Chris. It means so much, and for me, this whole new record just is such a, I mean, you always make records and all these songs mean a lot, but man, this record for me is the most special thing I've ever done. Just, there's songs that you write for yourself, and there's songs that you write because you think maybe it might help someone else, and like this record is filled with all the songs that were for me, selfishly, I know. But I figure we're all human, we all go through the same thing, so probably if I'm going through it, maybe someone here has gone through the same thing.
You know, it's interesting that I was supposed to have a record come out. They always put my record on in August. Go figure. Good marketing, guys. And it was supposed to come out last August, and I went to the label and I was like, you know, I just don't feel like it's ready yet. It was kind of this polished, we were kind of producing it up, and it was real polished, and I was like, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't feel polished at all, you know, and I don't want my record to be all perfect and polished and like recorded and tuned and like edited and just like, here it is, and it's like so pretty and sounding. And I just said, I want to start over. I know it sounds crazy, and I want to write a few more songs, and I want to record the album live in the studio. Which, let me show you, like, that doesn't happen these days. And so but I went with no demos, nothing. I didn't let any of the band hear it, and it was, you know, 2 electric guitars, bass, drums, keys, and then me and Ed Cash on utility instruments, and we pressed record and played the music. And not only was it the most fun I've ever had making music, but I feel like it captured the emotion of what I was wanting. And for me, the moment that I said, hey, let's push this record back. That's weird as an artist to go tell your label. That's like, that's not smart. You know, like, but at the same time, you want it to be right. You know, and but I just said, I just feel like it's not right. And I remember that like right after I did that, I was up in my studio in my house, and I was sitting at the piano, and I you know, you get pushed into like a lot of co-writes. It's like, oh, go write a song with this guy. He's written so many hit songs. And this, you know, and I'm like, sometimes you just gotta like sit back, and I like writing songs by myself sometimes, or a lot of times. And so I hadn't done that in a while, and I said, you know, I just want to go to my studio for the fun of it, no agenda, like not like we need this song to be a hit song. It's like I just wanted to write something that I was feeling in the moment, and I just nervously told my label to like push my record back. You know, it's like and like in a weird moment, a big leap of faith. And so I sat at the piano and I wrote this song that night, and this was called Just the Same.
Who doesn't have a list of regrets? Sins that I wish that I could forget. I've repented for plenty that I would give anything to do over. But in every mistake there's a lesson to be learned. Favor is favor, it's not something I've earned. Just wanna be like you, and each day I'm getting closer. And you give me grace to cover everything I've done, and I will do. You take my heart, and with your mercies every day you make it new. You take the good and the bad, when I'm happy or sad, my mistakes of yesterday, and you love me just the same. I know that the cross is not an excuse to live how I want, then confess it to you. I've tried and I'm trying my hardest to do it right. No, you give me grace to cover everything I've done, and I will do. You take my heart, and with your mercies every day you make it new. You take the good and the bad, when I'm happy or sad, my mistakes of yesterday, and you love me just the same. Your love doesn't change, it's not here then away. You don't leave when I am wrong. The cross paid the fall, not some but it all, and you've been here all along. Now I'm right where I belong, where I belong. And you give me grace to cover everything I've done, and I will do. You take my heart, and with your mercies every day you make it new. You take the good and the bad. When I'm happy, sad, my mistakes of yesterday. And you love me just the same. You love me just the same. You love me just the same. See, I don't see Brian Kinney, so that means I'm going to sneak one more extra in there really fast, so that I can't get in trouble if I can't see you. It doesn't work like that for the Lord, though. He sees you. So I'm supposed to only sing one more. I'm going to get to that real fast, but I got to do this one real fast because this one means so much to me. I talked to you about the depression. I wanted to write a song about me going through the depression and taking these pills, but every time I sat down to write the song, it sounded really depressing. So I was like, it always started with like the chord that was like, I don't want to be depressed. But then I realized, and this is why you got to sing it here in Austin, because you know so much blues history here, and I love blues music. I grew up on like R&B and stuff like that, and Chuck Berry and Stevie Ray Vaughan and all that. And so for me, I love that stuff, and I don't get to play it too much, but I wrote a song about that. I figured, you know, you can put anything, you can say anything. We put blues music, you can say anything, like the most deep stuff or whatever you want, and it works. And so I wrote a song about my time going through that depression, and it's weird to not play this with a full band because it has like a little guitar thing, so we'll just have to figure that out as we go. But this one's called Muddy Waters. I've got trouble of the hard kind, but I'm giving it up to you. I've got trouble of the hard kind, but I'm giving it up to you. Feels like muddy waters, what I've been walking through. I took some pills from the doctor. He told me they would wash away my pain. I took some pills from the doctor. He told me they would wash away my pain. But after 6 months of a trial run, the prescription didn't change anything. I need some help from the Father. Won't you come and save your son? I need some help from the Father. Won't you come and save your son? I believe that your life can make it right and that healing's already done. See, I still got the depressing chord. Alright, we got this one last thing. We gotta go. I think we gotta like drive to Houston to eat Tex-Mex or something. That's what I've heard. And we gotta fill the minivan up with gas, so you know we gotta be just 3 guys in the minivan, you know? What else do we ask for? Yeah, exactly. Minivan, just heading around Texas. You know? If I didn't sing this one, I'd get in trouble because this is my new single, and it's a song called "The Maker." And for me, if you haven't seen it, I have a music video out, and I'd love for you to go check that out. It's on YouTube because it really gives the
the visual of what I was thinking when I originally wrote it. But for me, you know, I'm so grateful for what the Lord has done in my life, and looking over, I mean, my whole life, but especially just, I mean, for me to tangibly see the difference in my own life over the last about 2.5 years. And so when I wrote this song, I wanted to write something that just showed my graciousness and my being grateful to Him. And because it's crazy for me to think like the maker of everything, like the Creator, lives inside of me and cares enough to like heal me and restore me and fix me and mold me. And so that's kind of where this song came from. And man, thank y'all for coming. And I hope that, you know, you got some goodies over here. I don't know, what was it, some chips or something? You know. Oh, watch out. The Christian chicken. That's what it is. If you didn't know the Lord, you're going to know Him now. All right, this one's called The Maker.
I see in the sunrise, I see in the rain, I see in the laughter, I feel you through the pain. Everything that you have made is beautiful. Oh my God, I can't believe my eyes. But in all of this, to think that you would think of me makes my heart come alive. Your love is like a mighty fire deep inside my bones. I feel like I could climb 1,000 mountains all at once. And I never have to wonder if somebody cares for me. I love the Maker, and the Maker loves me. The Maker loves. I see you are creation. I see the grandness of your majesty. The universe is singing all your glory. I can't believe you live inside of me. Everything that you have made is beautiful. Oh my God, I can't believe my eyes. But in all of this, to think that you would think of me, it makes my heart come alive. Your love is like a mighty fire deep inside my bones. I feel like I could climb 1,000 mountains all at once. And I never have to wonder if somebody cares for me. I love the Maker, and the Maker loves me. More than just some words upon a page, you show me in a million ways. But there is one that stands above them all, hands of creation on the cross. The Maker, yeah. Your love is like a mighty fire deep inside my bones.